Look at topic 7.
We're on the run home, Cole.
We are on the run home. Know what to do if things don't go to plan. So these are really short slides. So I'll thanks, Liam. But understand, and we've talked about today about, the whole thing is about, that customer centricity, having that business, having your business plan, your 90-day plan, what you've got in place, how to manage your staff. So the thing is, what happens in organisations is, you have a plan. You're 100% focused, you're confident, you're motivated, you're driven, and now we've got a place where we're going. This is our strategic intent of where we go. Next slide, please, Liam. But then what happens is strategic drift, right? So we go off track, we lose focus, we have unforeseen issues arise. Now, COVID is a great, lockdown is a really good example of that, right? We get distracted and costly mistakes happen. And we see that with companies, with staff, what just Alison went through. So part of your process of what you need to do is just got to implement this best practice in your business. Set your goals and objectives, know what they are for your company to help you get to that next level. Set your budgets and targets that we spoke about today and make sure that they're locked in and they're clear and linked to your goals and objectives. Your people management process, make sure your leaders are managing and motivating their staff to achieve the outcomes. And I'll say it, all be on the same page. Your products and services, ensure that everyone's committed to deliver on your products and services to achieve your company and individual KPIs, because Alison talked about the PDs. Thanks, Liam. And if we look at, systems and processes, so, that was raised during this session as well, you need to ensure everyone is using your systems and processes to follow the right process to deliver your company outcomes. And, again, part of our compliance we do with the HR, we go into a company, I don't want to fill out the CRM, or I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. Well, sorry, this is our standards. This is what it's all about. You need to actually do this. I always find that when you're trying to dismiss somebody, the first thing they say is, I haven't been trained. That's the first thing that come up when you're having those hard conversations. So it's about putting that training in and making sure they're doing that. Make sure you don't take your customers for granted. And I think what's really important is, as a team, you need to raise the bar to help achieve their outcomes. So what can we do as a company to try and help you achieve your outcomes? And the big one is the risk. And that's something we always don't think about until it happens. But, as a company, everyone needs to stay focused to ensure we don't put your company at risk. So I think, for me, the last thing you want is for your company to have a bad reputation. In today's world, Google reviews are a big thing that we see. Only recently we had somebody who was looking at our services and the competitors' services, and I just referred them to the Google reviews. They were at 2.9, we're at 4.9. We got the business because that's pretty much, and we had the same amount of Google reviews. That is one thing that we're going to ask you for at the end of this session. Next slide, please, Liam. Okay, so this is really the resilience. So we talked about today about having that positive mindset and everything like that, but having that resilience mindset in today's world. And we've heard from people today that are on this training session. Louisa with 4 kids, that is really hard because, they've got your attention all day long. She's got 4 kids under 10. They've got your attention all day long and you still got to run the business. But I think, one of the things that my grandfather used to say when he owned a business, it's never bad for too long, right? So you just got to plow through things. And I think, you need to have that positive mindset. And believe it or not, when you can use a bit of downtime of COVID, of actually setting up some business planning and doing some planning for your business, utilising the services that are around, then you actually come out with a more positive mindset. I always say surround yourself with positive people because, again, don't get sucked in to the negativity of all the things that could go wrong. Look at what can we do right. You need to be adaptive, flexible for change. And this is pretty much repeating something I did in a session with Mark at the beginning, or so probably towards the end of last year on a hookup. I think you need to exercise. Today, we're trapped in our homes, it's like Groundhog Day. Somehow you need to get outside, do something outside. You've got to get out and get some sunshine on you. And today's a beautiful day for that after this. Don't give up, seek help and put your hand up. And it's okay. You know what, if I'm not feeling mentally well or things are not going right, put your hand up because, sometimes it's by doing things like connecting with other like-minded business owners. It's really important. And the big one that Alison really likes and bandies around this business is don't give in to fear, so don't give in to fear. Just try it. Have the courage to get out there and try it.
Yep.
So we hope, I think that's our last slide, is it not?
Yeah.
That's our exercise, right?
Colin, could I just add something there about, getting outdoors or exercise? I mean, I think the big thing is get off screens. I think, whether it's just picking up a book and just unplug from the world. It does wonders for your own mental health, but also just, to be able to sort of step away from work for a while. And I know sometimes as a business owner, that's really hard. Particularly when you're working from home, because the boundaries are blurred. The boundaries between the kitchen and the study, or it might be the kitchen and the kitchen. They're all blurred. So you've just got to be able to have that time to diffuse, download and be away from a screen. And it's challenging, no doubt, here at the moment in where we are. Even if some organisations have even said to the teams, go take a day off, nothing, unplug. I want the whole team, I'm going to shut the business down for a day, have a long weekend, and I don't want you, and unplug yourself from the world, just so that they can just refresh.
Really good advice, Michael.
Yeah.
The other thing that, I did in my house as well is, especially last year in March and April, we were saturated, as you said earlier, like the legislation was coming through thick and fast. So we were saturated with the news because we had to keep up to date with it all. But then, and then we were at home. So I introduced a blanket ban on any news. So we weren't allowed to watch TV, we weren't allowed to have the radio on, we could play music, we could do anything but. So I think for people to find a way to just shut off. So I think that's really good advice to give. Just give, shut off, and then, it's not your problem for the next hour, whatever it might be.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
focus on that. Yeah.
Yeah.